heading to a conference. So after this interview, I'm heading straight to the conference. Yeah.
Okay, say less.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, we're live, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Love Bay Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. I am Shon Williams, aka Mr. President, and welcome to the Safe Room. It's a safe space for entrepreneurs and business owners here in Toronto to share their personal and professional stories. And today, I got a world-renowned guest. I would say that that's the title I'm giving for today. Let me just get to the bio real quickly. He's an internationally recognized speaker, mental health specialist, and the founder of Khalil Dorival Enterprises, KDE. Remember the acronym KDE, okay? That's what you have to remember. He's also the visionary behind the Healing Through Wellness community event. Let me tell you something. This brother has done a lot. He is an 8-time community award recipient. 8. Count them. 8 on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely amazing. A powerhouse. Someone that I see put in the work day in and day out. I'm truly inspired by what he has done so far. And I'm so happy to have him back on the show for the second time. You know, it was good one time. You had to run it back. When it's nice twice, you got to play it back one more time. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we have Mr. Khalil Dorival. Khalil, my brother, how are you doing?
Let's go. I'm blessed and highly favored. It's an honor and privilege to be here. Thank you so much, Sean, for the opportunity. And I love your podcast. I love the work that you're doing.
I appreciate it, man. And yeah, like I mentioned, like you've been on the show before, so we
Mhm.
had to run it back. I said, listen, you know what? It's been a minute since I talked to Khalil. Like we gotta catch up. We gotta
That's
catch
what's
up.
up. That's what's up.
I feel you, man. But I mean, yeah, like you were just telling me that after this you're heading to a conference. So again, like
Mhm.
you're staying active, you're staying busy, and I love that. Like, again, that's why I'm inspired by you. The grind never stops, or just you're
Mhm.
always going out, whether it's you're attending, you're speaking at an event, you're always having that strong mindset to just keep going. You're a go-getter, and I love that.
100%.
Yeah, so I mean, we're gonna talk about you, the stuff that you do. We're gonna talk about the 4 M's,
Mm.
guys. So again, I want y'all to take out your pens. I know I say that every single week, but I mean it. I mean this time, like lock in, because we're gonna be talking about the 4 M's: ministry, mindset, motivation, and marketing. So again, we're gonna be talking about this. Khalil's gonna be breaking down his backstory, how he's become such the powerhouse he is, and I'm super looking forward to it. But before we get into any of the main questions, we have to start off with the opening segment, ladies and gentlemen. It's the hot seat.
Ooh.
So, I mean, listen, we have to run it back one more time. So,
Ready.
Khalil, I got 4 questions for you. I just want you to answer them to your best abilities, okay?
Let's do it, bro.
Okay, and I see people in the chat going crazy. Shout out to Sis with the love in the comments. You know, she's always here, the number one fan for the safe room. You love to see it. So yeah, let's get right into the hot seat. So, Cleo, outside of the work that you do, tell me something about yourself in one sentence.
Outside the work I do, tell you about myself in one sentence. I am a follower of Christ.
I
Yeah,
love that.
I'm a believer. I'm someone who loves God with a passion, a man of faith, and my goal is to just serve people like Jesus did, right? So that's one thing about me.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And you know, I love just how open you are with that because I feel like for some people, they may just, they might keep it to themselves or they may not like speak it out loud. Because I feel like when people hear about religion, it's like the mood of the room changes. It's like, like, okay, I guess we're going to that conversation. But I love how you hold that like right on your chest, So I think that's a beautiful sentiment, man. And just like how do you feel when you say that to another person? Like, do you feel like you're not so concerned about their reaction because you know just how much your relationship with Jesus Christ, how strong it is?
So that's a great question. So I felt like in the beginning when I was younger in my faith and I was a little more immature, I was scared. I was nervous to bring it up because I know the direction of the conversation, how it can go. But as I grew and I realized that people are not afraid to talk about negative stuff. People are not afraid to push, certain identities or ideologies. People are not afraid to make what's good bad and what's bad good. So I was like, if people are not afraid to do all of that and project what they believe in on me, I'm like, okay, why don't I stand for something? Why don't I be bold about my faith and what I believe in? And I truly believe that my relationship with God is the most important thing to me, because without God, I am nothing. So if I say I am a follower of Christ or I'm a believer, I got to walk it. I got to live it. I got to be about it. And I got to speak it. I got to speak it out, because this is who I am. This is my identity. And a lot of things that you talked about, when it comes to the work I put into hustling, I don't do it for man. I don't do it for people. I do it for God, right? And because I have this mindset and this thinking, this thought process that I don't fake it till I make it, I face it until I make it. It gives me the motivation to keep going when it's hard, challenging, and difficult. So I gotta stand for something, because if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything.
Absolutely. I should have gave a quick disclaimer to everyone listening. Khalil is away with words. That I promise you, like you're gonna hear more. Like you're gonna hear more with the wordplay. That I should have let you know, but I totally agree, 100%, man. I love that. Okay, going on to my next question, and this one I'm very curious to ask you. I want you to name 3 character traits you believe most people don't know about you.
Hmm. So you're coming with the questions. So the first thing, a lot of people think I'm Jamaican, but I'm not. I'm not Jamaican. I love Jamaicans, but I'm actually Bajan and Grenadian. So my dad is from Barbados.
Hey, bump Grenadian shout out. Oh my goodness. Grenada in the building.
And my mom's Grenadian, right? So I got that Bajan sensation and that and that island spice. You feel me? So the best of both worlds. So that's a big fact that a lot of people don't know about me. I'm also a person who loves deep conversations. Like, when we have our conversations, Sean, and we talk about life, family, and like just mindset, business, and personal development, like that's what feed me when talking and having conversations and healthy dialogues with people who are aligned, right? People who have common thoughts and common mindsets. And then the third thing I would say that people don't know about me is I'm a foodie. I like to slap up a good meal. Like, I love food. I know I don't probably look like I eat a lot, but I love some good food. It's literally medicine to my soul.
I love that. Have you ever thought like maybe at one point you thought you could do like food reviews and just kind of go around to like spot after spot and just kind of like give a rating? Like, would you be like the next Keith Lee?
Yeah, I actually thought about it. We have the same hair and everything. I wouldn't mind, free food, just for reviews and getting paid with companies. That's really cool. I can definitely see myself doing something like that in the future.
Yeah, for sure, man. But I love how like, with those traits again, it has such uniqueness to just who you are, just how you represent yourself in front of people. Because again, I didn't even know that you were like Bayesian Grenadian. Like we've had conversations. I'm like, how am I
Yeah.
just now figuring this out? So I find that amazing. And I love how again you like to indulge in deep conversations because I feel like for a lot of folks, depending if you have a small inner circle or you talk to everyone that you know, sometimes those deep conversations they either don't get brought up or usually when you get into it it's like, are we really getting into like the deep crevice of the conversation as well? It's like, oh, we're talking about life, but it's kind of like in a nutshell. You're like, okay, like how's everything going? Like, yeah, things are good. Things are good. But sometimes we're afraid to even get super vulnerable and kind of speak on like certain pain points and just like, nah, I'm going through some like real stuff right now. And it's like really bad. Like, yeah, like let's talk about it. Let's like feel open. So I love how you're not afraid to dive into stuff like that. I feel like for a lot of folks, there's some type of reluctancy to get into that type of atmosphere.
100%. My vulnerability is my superpower. Like, I'm not afraid to share the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's talk about
Definitely.
it.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Number 3. An interesting fact that you rarely share about yourself. I mean, you kind of shared like three, I guess, with the character traits, but if you got one more in you, that would be good.
So I'm this outgoing, passionate, energetic type of person, but a lot of people don't know that I love being by myself. Like I love to be like solo dolo, be in solitude, just thinking, reflecting, be on my own. Whether it's eating by myself, walking by myself, exercising, reading, like whatever it may be. I love being on my own. I think I got my that trait from my dad, because my mom's like she's an extrovert. She'll go out there, meet people, talk to strangers on the street, loud, and then my dad is just like calm, collective. He likes to be very few friends. So I think that's one thing that people don't know about me. Like after I'm engaged with a lot of people, whether I'm speaking to thousands of people or I'm at a conference, I love to just decompress and be alone.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like for an extrovert, you need that space of just kind of being alone and just kind of just reflecting or just chilling, relax, kind of get away from the world a bit. I feel like that's super important. You mentioned how like you got that from your father and just how just I'm just quiet, but then like my mother is more active. Like I feel like in my family, like I'm the active one regardless. Like I have a sister, my mom and my dad, and just like anytime I go out, they're just like, "Do you need to go out? Like, do you need to go to this event?" Like I don't know. It's just like, oh, guys, like it's cool. Like nothing's gonna happen, but I understand it's just like that love and security that they see. But I love how again for you want to be by yourself because I get that probably a lot of people don't even see that from you. They would assume that Khalil's like a social butterfly. He's always want to engage and talk with people, but it's like, nah, like put me in a solid room where it's like there's no one in there. We Gucci.
Facts.
I love that, man. Okay. Final question for this hot seat segment. What is your personal safe room? So, what is a safe space? It could be physical, it could be mental, that allows you to be your authentic self.
hmm do I have to choose one, or could I name a few?
If you got a couple, go ahead.
Okay, so I would say one definitely is in the gym. Like early mornings when no one is there, like just me and the treadmill, like that is my safe space where I can just think, pray, talk to God, just really be in the zone, taking in, doing check-ins with my body, thinking about my goals, thinking about my dreams, thinking about my aspirations. Like that is a safe space for me where nobody's there and I'm just working on me. I'm just, planning and improving myself. I would say the second place is my car. Just being there, driving on my own, whether I'm going to work, going to a conference, meeting someone, but just being alone in the car, during long drives, that is definitely like a safe space for me. And last but not least, like my bedroom, like when I'm just in my room and I'm working on a project. Usually it's like a workshop or a grant, um, a program, you name it, anything that's creative, another book, um, or any request that an organization or company need from me. Just when I'm in my zone, that's like a safe space. Sometimes I play like a motivational music. Sometimes I just love that silence. But those are the top three places for me.
I love that. I love that. And I love how you mentioned one of your safe spaces, your car. And ironically, like you're in your car doing this interview. So it's like God's plan right now. It's like I'm in my safe space. We're doing this on the safe room.
Safe
So I
room.
love that. I love
Uh,
that. And I love that the comment section are actually getting active as well. I see frequency event promotions. Did I miss the four M's? We're about to get into it. We're about to get into it. I mentioned at the beginning ministry, mindset, motivation, and marketing. So don't worry about to get into it. But yeah, I love just again, you have these different spaces that allow you to be just your authentic self, regardless of where you're at, whether it's at the gym, whether it's in your car, or whether it's in your bedroom. But I feel like even with your answers, each
mhm,
space kind of offers a different aspect where you can be safe and you can be vulnerable, you can be authentic.
mhm,
Maybe if you're at the gym, you just need to let go some anger, or maybe you need to get motivation. If you're in your car, maybe you just need to detox from all the stress and the trials and tribulations. And maybe if you're in your bedroom, you're just like planning. Maybe you're trying to restructure and rebuild, So I feel like for certain people, they use their safe space in a particular way that, it could benefit them or just allow them to be in a certain element. So, it's nice to know that you have multiple spaces. And I promise you, a lot of people are like stuck on this question because it's like, ooh, I don't know what to even answer because it's like it's like it's stuck.
Hmm.
All right. Well, that's the hot seat segment. I think you gave some amazing answers.
Whew.
Seems like the Cars is the
I'm glad
winner.
I'm out the hot seat.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Again, for those who are listening from the beginning, appreciate you for staying in. If you're just coming in right now, you're listening to the Safe Room here on Love Bay Radio. We're here with Khalil Dorival, and we've just went over the hot seat segment. Before we get into things, a couple of things I want to share. Yesterday, May 14th, I celebrated 5 years since my first episode, my first ever conversation in the Safe Room. So,
Woo!
man,
So congratulations. That's amazing.
thank you, man. And listen, I will say this: I'm super just grateful and humble to just be doing this because I did not think that this would be like what I'd be doing like at this moment. If you told me like, "Oh, Sean, you're gonna have a podcast, you're gonna be doing this on the radio," I'd be like, nah, like I don't see it. But again, it was up to me. It was God's plan. He put it for me. He
Mhm.
instilled all the seeds. He planted the road. So I'm happy. And again, I'm super grateful. And I will let you guys know for those in Toronto, I might be doing a celebration. I might be doing something. So
You need
be on
to.
the lookout. Just like I have to do something big. So be on the lookout. That's my first thing. Also, as well, I want to reiterate, like I've been saying the last couple of weeks, for Love Bay Radio, I will be hosting the Voice of the Millennials event on Saturday, July 12th. Again, I'm super honored to be doing that. I'll be sharing more details at the end of this interview. So, again, if you want to know what will be happening, you can get all the details. And I'm telling you, you would want to come out to this because if I'm going to be there hosting, it's about to be 10 out of 10. It's about to be 5 stars, chef's kiss. So you
You have
definitely
to
want to pop out for that. But
talk
let's
that
get
talk.
back into let's get back into the conversation, man. So first things first. So like I mentioned at the beginning, you live by the 4 M's: the ministry, mindset, motivation, and marketing. So I just want to ask you first off, Khalil, where did your journey officially take off and how did those 4 M's become the centerfold to the work you do right now with KDE, with all the speaking events, how you've impacted so much people within different communities? How did your journey started and where did the 4 M's come into the fold?
Hmm. I think my journey started with like struggle. It started with pain. It started with anger. It started with trauma. That's like literally where it started. Like not loving myself, not liking myself, not believing in myself. Like really having that poverty victim mentality and mindset. And because I had all of those things, I made the poorest choices. I made bad decisions. You know my story. 14 years old, followed the wrong crowd, got arrested, went to jail, try to get a job, had no luck with that. Started developing a lot of mental health challenges, social anxiety, depression, was confused, was lost, came to the point where I almost committed suicide, taking my life away. And it came to the point where, by the grace of God, my pastor and mentors who introduced me to personal development and self growth was the change of my life. That's when the trajectory of my future literally changed, and I started focusing on reading, going to conferences, being around the right people, listening to motivational videos, creating a vision board, you name it, believing in myself, just really trying to follow successful people. My mentor said, if you follow successful people, if you do what they do, you'll get what they got, because success leaves clues, it leaves a blueprint. And I did everything they told me to do. And I started replicating that success. You can duplicate success, right? So I started replicating that success, started going to church, focusing on ministry, and started going from there. So how the 4 M's came, it didn't come back then. It actually came recently where I was like, how do I encompass my life? Like, what is the pillars of what I stand for? Right. So I had to think about it, like through self reflection, solitude. And that's why I say you need a safe space, right? Shout out to the safe room. You need a safe space so you can take that time to reflect, to think, to process things, right? And what God is going to do, He's going to give you revelation. He's going to give you inspiration. He's going to give you all of those things you need to start creating the future that He has for you, right? I tell people all the time, there's things that you're paid to do, but there's things that you're made to do. So, for me, when I think about, do I go into the four M's? Do you want me to go into the four M's or
Hey,
not yet?
listen, you got time, bro. I'm here to listen. You're preaching a sermon right now. The audience are loving you. You go in.
Uh-huh. So where the four M's came about was, I think about what are my values, right? What are my value systems? So I thought about, okay, ministry. I'm a man of God, ministry. So that is my foundation. That is my rock. So, when people think about like what's their why, my why is to love God and serve people. If you could sum up my whole life, it's all about loving God with all my heart, my soul, and then loving my neighbor as I love myself, serving people. I know people are going through a lot of challenges and struggle. My goal is how can I be a solution? How can I solve someone's problem? Because God gave me talents. He gave me abilities. He gave me gifts. He gave me skills. And it's not for me to keep it to myself because that's how a lot of people think. They live a life selfishly and they think about themselves and they're self-centered. But how can I package everything that God has given me and how can I offer it to someone else? How can I be of value and of benefit to someone else? So that is ministry, right? And ministry is not what quote unquote you think about when you think about just church. My whole life is a ministry. Like when I go to work, it's a ministry. When I go to school, it's a ministry. When I go see my family, it's a ministry. Everything that I do is ministry. So that's the foundation. Now, number two, mindset. Mindset is the discipline because I go by a scripture that says, "Don't be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Renewing your mindset, renewing your thinking, your thought process. I truly believe all success starts with your thoughts. Success is not a secret. Success is a mindset. So mindset is the discipline. Mindset is the discipline because when you have a mindset of success, anything that you do, anything that you touch, anything that you get involved in, it has to work or it has to work because you have been programmed to win. When you change your thoughts, you change your feelings. When you change your feelings, you change your actions. When you change your actions, you change your results. And those results become self-fulfilling belief systems. There's certain things that I believe that the average person doesn't believe. That's why when I see an obstacle or a challenge, I see it as an opportunity. That's why when I feel like giving up, I can keep going.
Yeah.
When there's a storm, right? I can calm the storm because I have this mindset that I can never lose. I can never lose. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things. All things. The Bible says something like this, and I don't want to make this a sermon, but the Bible says all things are possible to those who believe. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So that is the mindset. Then we get into the motivation. The motivation is the fuel. So because I'm so focused on personal development and self-growth, and let me say this, this is deep. Watch this. Healing the inner child. Healing the inner
Mm-hmm.
child. Because a lot of us are broken from our past. Traumas, mistakes, failures, you name it. So some of you are dealing with a lot of trauma, and that trauma is affecting everything you do. It's distorting your lens and how you view the world. And how you look at things matter. When you change the way you look at things, the way you look at things change. So the reason why I'm able to stay motivated and keep motivated is because I'm constantly pouring into my cup. My cup is always full. I'm filling myself because I understand what's in me, right, is going to come out of me, right? And you can't give what you don't have. So you got to make sure your cup is full. And last but not least, right? It's ministry, mindset, motivation, and marketing. You are the CEO of your own life. Let me talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
You are the CEO of your own life. And we're constantly selling ourselves. We're constantly marketing ourselves. And I look at it as the tool. Marketing is a tool. What is the platform that you are going to utilize to make that change and make that impact? So it's my mentorship, it's my content on social media, it's my workshops, it's my programs, it's my keynotes, my speaking engagements, my videos, my pictures, everything that I do when I'm connecting with people, my brand. It is the tool that I utilize to reach people. So those are the 4 M's.
Ladies and gentlemen, you see why I brought him back on the show? Do you see why I brought him back on this show? I knew you were about to bring the absolute heat, man. Yes, I love it. I absolutely, honestly, I literally have nothing else to say. Usually, I would like piggyback. I literally have nothing. I might as well go on to the next question because like everything you said, right on the nail, man. And again, I love that like this is not filler. I can tell just the way you're speaking, like you are like you mean what you say. I feel like, and again, this is not even to come after everyone, but it's like we say things, and sometimes we don't hold our own weight to our words. And sometimes I'll put my hand up. Sometimes I'm that same person. I say, okay, yeah, you know what? I'm this guy, like I'm him. But then it's like, all right, it's a little bit of doubt in it. But I feel like for you, you truly believe on everything that you stand for and everything that you say. And I love that because honestly, that is like a beautiful thing to see. And I think a lot of people would love to like hear that from you. So that way, if they're in their own troubles, their own tribulations, that they're able to overcome it, but also take something away as like a piece or like a nugget or just a tidbit that gets them to that next echelon, to that next level. So, man, just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate the love.
Yeah, no problem, man. All right. Let's keep it going, man. So I wanna kind of break down like each thing a little bit more, just asking some more personal questions. So again, I want to go back to ministry. So if you could share a challenge that God placed in front of you that you didn't recognize the importance of that challenge being there until everything was completely shown and like, oh, I see why you did this. Cause I feel like for a lot of us, we go through those like obstacles or those hurdles that God puts in front of us. And we think to ourselves, like, God, like, why me? Like, why are you punishing me? Like, why am I have to go through this? But then we don't even realize, like, I'm setting you up for like this and that, and you want to complain, like you want to like just cry about it. And again, I get it. We're human. Like we're not perfect. We're gonna be having like questions and doubts and everything like that. But I want to know like what was a challenge that God placed in front of you that you didn't realize, like, oh, I see what you did. I see what you did there. It was to get me to that next level, to get me to be a better person or to be what I am at what I was before. So like what was a challenge that God placed in front of you that you didn't recognize the importance, but when it did happen, you appreciated and you were grateful for it?
Hmm. The easy way to answer that question is just to say everything, but to give you one one specific one, because God is always He's always teaching me. He's always molding me to be a student of life and to recognize the lessons and things. God has been so good to me. So he's literally my father. So he's always like, hey, I gotta let you go through this process because the person that's gonna make you is gonna be the person I need you to be, right? So I would say a huge one is, how many people really struggle financially? Like that was the biggest one, like finances, especially when you grew up, not having much and in poverty and struggling financially and not knowing financial literacy or anything. So a huge one was when I was making like 20 to 30 thousand dollars a year. And one thing I didn't know is I didn't know anything about credit, so I messed up my credit. Credit was bad. I didn't know how money worked. Like I used to overspend, buy clothes, jewelry, you name it. Never had any emergency savings or emergency funds, so I would spend all the money that came in, it will go back out. And I will live a certain lifestyle where I'm just constantly spending, not knowing how to invest, not knowing about debt, constantly getting myself in debt. So financial literacy. And what happened over the years with the grace of God, God really taught me about like finances. And there's a story in the Bible about the talents, right? Where God gave one when he gave one two and he gave another one four, and then you know um he told them to, like, multiply, right? So, one go and did something with it and doubled it. The second one did something with it and doubled it, and the third one buried the talent, buried the talent, and didn't do anything with it. So the master came and said, "Hey, yo, what did you guys do with it?" The two said they doubled it, and the third one said they buried it because they were scared. They didn't want to lose it. And then the master said he took the talent, gave it to the one who had the most, and then he says, get away from me, you wicked and evil a servant, right? So the story really taught me how to manage finances, because whatever you don't manage, you lose. Think about it. If you
Right.
don't manage your health, you lose. If you don't manage your finances, you lose it. If you don't manage your relationships, you're going to lose that relationship. So God really taught me about financial literacy. He taught me about how to be a person of value so I can attract money. So I literally took courses. I went to programs, business programs. I went to courses. I did online courses, you name it. And I started learning. I started growing. I started developing. And I tell people all the time, the more you learn is the more you earn. The more you learn and you learn and you learn, you remove the L and you start earning. So because I started applying those principles about developing myself, being a person of value, learning financial literacy, how to save, I went to different programs where I learned about money, I learned about investments, I learned about debt, all those different things. And from before the pandemic, making 30,000, whatever the case is, working 2, 3 jobs, working for all these youth organizations and charities, 5 years later, I became a six-figure earner. Six-figure
Nice.
because God wanted to teach me something. He wanted me to learn. He wanted me to understand money and financial literacy. He wanted me to grow and develop. And he knew that mindset that I had before wasn't going to help me to get me to where I needed to be. Right? So that was the huge lesson that I learned. And I'm comfortable. I'm being honest, like my needs are covered, like I'm financially well off. I have emergency funds and savings, and you name it. Like I'm really good.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I feel like, a lot of the conversation we do here on the safe room, again, it's usually surrounding business and entrepreneurship. And a lot of people say that the one thing that they would love to have is like money. Because
Mhm.
obviously, like for a business to thrive, it's all about the bottom line. It's about if you're
Yeah.
bringing in that revenue so you can see the growth and development. But I think, like you mentioned, we need to sharpen our minds when it comes to financial literacy. And again, it's not easy. Everyone goes through their own challenges. I've gone through challenges where like I have money and it's gone. And I would ask myself, like, how's it gone? Like, I don't even spend like that. I'm not someone that's like, I will buy shoes or jewelry. It's like, it's other ways. Like, maybe it's like Uber Eats. And like, I have to tell myself, okay, I got to pull back, and it's
And
it's
cook.
taking, yeah, I gotta
Yeah,
cook,
yeah.
especially
Mm.
in this climate now. I mean, 2025, you're at to start learning how to do other things, but it's trial by error. It's kind of figuring out how you go. And again, having stuff like an emergency fund or TFSA accounts, having these little things and realizing again, if you just have money and you just let it sit there, eventually it's going to go away. It's if how
Mhm.
you choose to deal with that money. Are you just going to let it sit there and just winder off? Or are you actually going to put that money into use? So if it's like maybe every day I'm taking out 20, I'm putting it in a savings account every
Yeah.
single day and building and building. Next thing you know, 3 months later, I have money. I have something to save up for like a rainy day rather
Yeah.
than just let it sit. And next thing you know, you check your bank account, you see like a $500 charge. Like, what was this? Like, you feel confused, and because like certain things just happen. It's unexpected, and that's just how God works. You don't know how things are going to plan out.
Mhm.
We never know how things are going to plan out because God is the only one who has everything jotted down from start to finish. So I think for you, sharing how with financial literacy that was a challenge for you that you didn't see at first, but you're able to grow and to hear that you're a six-figure man. Where manifesting is going to be seven
Yeah.
figures. I
Seven
know it's
figure.
coming
Let's go,
soon.
baby. Seven
It's
figure
coming
earner.
soon.
Talking it. I'm a seven-figure earner.
Yes, sir. So I mean, I absolutely love that. I think that's super important. I hope, for anyone listening, you take something from that. You can definitely become that six-figure earner, seven-figure, eight-figure, whatever you want to be. You can chase that. So I think that's amazing on what you just share. I want to go on to my next question here. So, with everything you've accomplished so far, and like I mentioned, it is a lot and it's impressive. Why is it important to have not only a healthy mindset, but also go through those trials of uncertainty to build a stronger mindset?
Hmm. So I think it's important to have a healthy mindset because we're either in a problem, heading towards a problem, or coming out of a problem. Let me say this. We're either in a problem, going towards a problem, or coming out of a problem. Shout out to my mentor, Les Brown. So we're gonna have challenges. We're gonna have issues. We're gonna have problems. We're gonna have difficulty. The Bible says, "You will go through trials and tribulations, but be of good cheer. I've overcome the world." That's what Jesus said. So, knowing that you're not gonna live a life free of problems, you gotta understand that you gotta face it. That you gotta deal with problems regardless. And if you don't have a healthy mindset, when you go through those difficulties, it's gonna break you. It's gonna break you. You're going to fold. You're going to struggle. So I tell people you got to work on yourself. You got to work on your mindset. If you need to go to therapy, go to therapy. I believe in Jesus and I believe in therapy. I've been in therapy for the last what is it? 5 years? Last 5 years I've been in therapy consistently, right? Because I understand that I understand that, what I've been through, and I've been through a lot, that if I don't work on me, I'm gonna project a lot of my traumas, my fears and doubts to my children. So I'm
Right.
thinking about my future. I'm thinking about my legacy. I don't want to pass down and trauma and poverty. I want to pass down health, wealth, and prosperity. You get what I'm saying? And that's what we don't do a lot of times, especially in the Black community. So my mindset about that is different. So the importance of having a healthy mindset is when you go through those challenges, those obstacles, you're able to bounce back. You're able to navigate it. You're able to process things. You're able to become a better person. You're able to see it in a positive way and look at adversity as advancement. Let me say this again. Woo! When you
He had
look
to tip the cap for that one.
at listen, because take this in, Sean. I really want to tell you this. Watch this. Who's listening? There's no strength without struggle.
Mm-hmm.
There's no opportunity without obstacle.
Mm-hmm.
There's no destiny without difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, talk to me. Talk to me, right? So knowing that all these things that you need, it's all preparing you for you to be the person that God needs you to be, which is stronger, better, smarter, and wiser. But if you don't go through that process, if you don't go through that process, if you don't go through that difficulty, you will continue to be the same person. You'll continue to have that same mindset. You'll continue to live the same life. So because I understand that, I get excited. I embrace it. I love it. I want to go through that because when I'm able to handle those small challenges, when the big ones come, I am ready. Look at David. David
Mm-hmm.
defeated a lion. He defeated a bear. And then he came to Goliath. And he says, "You uncircumcised Philistine." He knew that he had God with him. He knew that he was going to beat Goliath because he already had that confidence. He's if I could beat the bear, I can beat the lion. Guess what, Goliath? I can beat you too. So that is my mindset. You need to have a healthy mindset so you can overcome any obstacle and challenge that comes your way.
100%, man. And, you know, like you mentioned, you talked about trauma and you don't want to pass that down to like your next generation. I feel like for the previous generations before past us, you know, they
Mhm.
tried so much for us to not live in that same like bubble of like, well, I don't want to pass down like certain things to you. And sometimes for certain people, it happens in a way where like that's just the case. And, you know, you're trying to get out of that rut so that way you want to think about that wealth and prosperity, pass it along to your children so that way they can have that mindset instilled into them. Because you don't want it to
Mhm.
be where you may have a family, you have kids, and then all of a sudden it's just
It's a
like,
cycle. Hmm.
it's a cycle. You're like, you're just stuck there and it's like, okay, we're just gonna be just settling for less or like settling for good enough. It's like, no, we're trying to like give you more than enough, more than everything, and then some. So I love how you even talked about that, because I think that's such an important talking point, especially like you mentioned in the Black community. I feel like for a lot of folks, you see just how the way they personify themselves, the way that they behave, it's a manner of just like, I'm trying to like get through, because it's gone down from like family to family, generation to generation. But when you get your mind out of that mindset and start to upgrade into a different mindset that says you are better and you can do better, then it changes a lot just in terms of the way you speak, the way you move, the way you behave around people. It starts to show in different aspects and it really spreads around. So I love that you mentioned that, because I think for a lot of folks, that I think that could even be like a talking point itself, like a separate conversation, low key.
Mm-hmm. I'm a generational curse breaker. I'm telling you.
I love it. I love it,
Yep.
man.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, I love okay. All right. Again, for those who are just coming in, you're tuned into the safe room here on Love Bay Radio. We're here with Mr. Khalil Dorival. Man, we have been dropping bombs in here. This has been a whole sermon. So if you missed
I'm
this
telling you.
so far, don't worry. You can go back and rewatch. But if you've been here from the time being, listen, y'all know like we've been cooking. The conversation's been boiling on the pot. So we're making y'all a good feast, and everyone's eating. Everybody's eating. So I want to get into the next question. So Khalil, how does motivation come to you? And I know you probably did speak about it in some of your previous answer, but how has motivation come for you? And what are some ways you try to pass this type of energy to other folks who are looking for motivation?
Mm-hmm. I'll start here. I am in alignment with my assignment.
Okay, honestly, like, dude, if you're gonna keep me, oh, okay, I'm sorry. If you're gonna keep dropping bombs like that, I might as well just cut the show, like for real.
When you're in alignment with your assignment, with the vision that God has for you, that's all the motivation you need.
I
I'm
love
doing,
that.
like, I'm living out my calling, Sean. I'm not doing anything outside of the ordinary. I'm doing what God has instructed me to do. So, because I know my why, I know my purpose, I'm in alignment with my assignment. It gives me the motivation I need to keep going when I don't feel like it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So how do I pass this on? I'm already doing the work. I told you that my life is of service. Jesus talked about in the Bible, he's like, like, who wants to be great? And like who of you want to be great? He says, if you want to be great, you have to be the servant of many. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
all about greatness. I don't want to be good. I want to be great. So because I have this mindset of great, I'm doing what I love. I'm doing what I'm passionate about. And passion means pass I on. Passion. Pass I on. So I'm passing on a part of me onto someone else. So when I do a speech, when I do a workshop, when I'm mentoring someone on the phone, when I'm encouraging, when I'm praying for someone, I'm passing a part of me onto someone else. So that's why I'm so passionate about the impact that I'm making, is because I know that I'm all about sowing seeds. I may not
Mm-hmm.
change that person, but I know that I can sow a seed and I can probably just help one person. And even if I just help one person, I've done my job, right? There could be two people that's here. I'm still going to act like I'm speaking to 2,000 people because I understand that's not about quantity, it's about quality. It's not about, oh, going out there and making all the money in the world. It's about impact, right? It's about
Mm-hmm.
who are the lives that you're going to touch, who are the lives that you are going to impact. And that's my legacy, that's my purpose. So it's so easy for me to live out my assignment and my calling and to follow God's instruction because I know it's aligned with my passion, what I'm called to do. Let me give you the formula for success. Watch this. Take this in. When you do what you love and you're passionate about, and you attach it to what you God has made you to do and you're gifted, that is what you're gonna That's when you're gonna realize success. So I love speaking, right? That's my passion. I love helping people. I love helping people. That's my passion. Serving people. My gift is me speaking. So I attach me loving helping people with my gift of speaking, and I started a business, which is Khalil Dorival Enterprise. So obviously, I'm going to be successful because God gave me the vision, He gave me the skills, He gave me the passion. I put it together. Now I'm seeing the success.
I feel you, man. And like I love how with that passion you have, you try again to pass along to so many people, and that's something you really stand by. Because I feel like for anyone, whether you're an entrepreneur or business owner in general, I feel like sometimes there's a lot of gatekeeping, whether it's
Mhm,
through information or even trying to be another like voice of reason to someone else. We tend to keep our thoughts like really deep inside of us, and we
mhm,
don't tend to speak up. So like even for me, like there are certain things that I would hear about and it's just like, how come no one shared this? And I think there's this selfish tendency that a lot of people have where it's like, well, I
mhm,
found this resource, and if I
mhm,
share it to everyone, they could take my spot. So you know what? Maybe I won't say anything. Maybe I'll
mhm,
keep it quiet. But I mean, for you, it's like, no, like if I could help someone, then I'll share that one piece of information. Like I'm the same way too,
mhm,
I am someone that will go along their way and like I'll be talking to someone. I'll just ask them, like, yo, like what's your dreams and aspirations? Like, what do you want to do?
mhm,
And it's like they'll tell me, it's like, look, I'll look into some things. If I see anything, I'll share with you. Just to see how I can help. Because at the end of the day, like I'm not trying to just please myself. I'm trying to like help other people. Because like that's what I also believe. I also believe I'm put on this earth to do God's work and to support others. And I believe that's what I'm doing. With this podcast, with the safe room,
mhm,
because if I wanted to, like I know how persistent and ambitious I am. I could be pulling some of the biggest guests on this show. Easy. I really could be doing that just for the clicks and the view, but it's like, no, like I don't need that. Like that's not
mhm,
what makes me happy, and that's not what God wants me to do. He
mhm.
wants me to have conversations like this. And I guarantee you guys, you would rather have a conversation right now here with myself and Khalil than if I was talking to some big celebrity where it's like the connection is not there. You're not getting all this information and authenticity.
Mhm.
So I do think it's important to have that motivation to also pass it along to people because everyone needs that type of motivation in their life.
Of course, 100%. And Zig Ziglar said it best. If you help enough people get what they want, you will eventually get what you want. And I tell people you got to go through what you go through is meant to go through you to be a benefit and value and a lesson to someone else. Why am I saying this? Because your life lesson is someone else's lifeline. Let me bring this back.
Hmm.
Your life lessons is someone else's lifeline. Your story is someone else's survival guide. So when you understand that what you meant to was never for you, let me say this again. Come on. Like when you understand what you went through was never for you. It was like sometimes God make you an example so you can be example for someone else, right? Like everything that you went through is meant to be a blessing. Like I never see an apple tree eat its own apples. Tell me, Sean, have you ever seen an orange tree eat its own orange?
Nope.
I never see it. Every time an apple produces fruit, or orange tree produces fruit, right? Mango tree produces fruit. It's always meant for someone else. So when you have that mindset that everything that you have is to be a blessing, to give, to help, to support someone else, then you live a life of service. You live a life of giving, right? The Bible says it is more honorable to give than to receive. I'm a giver,
Hmm.
and God gives more seed to the sower. So because I give so much, and I understand there's no limit to what I have inside of me, God is always giving me more. He's giving more as every time I give, every time I serve, every time I help. God is constantly refilling my cup, and He's giving me more. So I can never lack. I don't come from a place of scarcity or lack. I come from a place of abundance.
100%, 100%. I just want to quickly go through the comments because I know some people are probably like, Sean, you're not reading the comments. I promise you, I'm reading it, but I'm locked in. I'm locked in with Khalil. So forgive me. I see Chanel's been like completely active. Gloria with write the vision and make it plain.
Mhm.
100%. Ephesians chapter 4 verse 1. Yep. Chanel, drop in the Bible verses. We love to see it. I am passionate. I am passing a part of me to someone else. It's about impact, equality, 100% Gloria. Again, you guys are going amazing with the comments. Love the engagement. We love it when the audience is just part of the conversation as well. It's not just me and you or the guests and myself. It's everyone. We're all part of the safe room. We're all here to have these wonderful conversations. So I'm glad to see that everyone's being active in the chat. Well, I do want to go into my next question, and I don't know if you guys have noticed a trend based on the questions. I'll share at the end, but if you know me, I'm a sneaky dude. I'm a sneaky dude. But let's go on to the next question. So you, like you mentioned, you have your business KDE, but you've also been able to produce different guides and tools for people when it has to do with, like, maybe marketing or how they can build their own business and brand. So you do have your digital wealth toolkit and your 12 do it for you guides. So what is the marketing approach that you try to take to help others thrive with, marketing themselves, marketing their business, but also for yourself as well? Because I think you've made it very clear that, again, with the 4 M's, like, that was a pillar to how your life was going to be. Because I feel like for a lot of folks, when they think about building like brand messaging, it's usually for the business, but they don't really focus much on themselves. But it's for you, it's more in the inverse. It's like everything I do is because, like, that's who I am and that's what God wants me to be. So, like, what type of marketing approach do you try to take to help those who are looking to build on their personal branding or build on their professional business?
So, like you said, I have a 12 done for you bundle that someone can utilize who want to get in the digital marketing space, who want to create extra income online. I think a huge struggle for people, especially when we talk about inflation and the economy, is people want to make more money. And a lot of people just don't know how. They don't know where to start, especially when it comes to online. Like, we live in a generation where we're all about digitalizing stuff. We're all about, like, artificial intelligence, AI, social media marketing, you name it. So why a lot of people have social media accounts, but they don't make money from it. They don't monetize their social media. So my goal is to help you monetize your social media. How can you make money online? Start creating financial freedom for yourself and create multiple streams of income. Because if you lose your job, which I lost two of my jobs during the pandemic, guess what? At least you have financial security and safety with a business that can make you money. Because I had a business, I was able to sustain myself until I get that next job. So this product is phenomenal. It's amazing. It's going to give you the tools, the resources, the knowledge you need to start making money online as a beginner. So you don't need experience, right? You don't need skills. It's going to teach you how to create reels, how to brand yourself, you name it, how to connect with different brands, how to create your store online. It's going to give you everything you need to get started. I think we're going to send out a link on how you can purchase this product. It's only $47 to get started. I have other services where I charge way more, but I want people to just get started. Get your foot.
Oh, I think we lost them.
Hello,
Oh,
son.
we're good. We're back. You're
Okay.
back.
I know for me, finances was a big issue, especially when I wanted to take a course. I'm like, yo, I couldn't afford this. But when you look at things as an investment, investing in yourself, right? When you look at things that way, it's gonna push you to kind of get started. It's gonna push you to do it. And I tell people, don't do it for anybody else but yourself. The greatest investment that you can make is in yourself. So get started, get in the digital space. It is not the future, it is the now. We're living in this. There's 2 billion users on Instagram. There's billions of users on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, you name it. Why don't you create a product that can solve a problem? I give this people this rule. It's called the 11-11 rule. Find one niche, right? Find one niche.
Mm-hmm.
Find one problem that you want to solve, right? Create a product, find one product that's going to solve that problem, and then help someone get one result. When you do the 11-11 rule, You are going to help solve people's problems, and people are going to pay you to solve their problem. All the money you need is in someone else's pocket. You just have to figure out how you can create a product that's going to solve the problem where they want to buy from you.
100%, man. And yeah, a lot of people, when it comes to like digital marketing, for a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners, it's one of the biggest challenges because it's not only having to promote a product or a service, but you're also promoting yourself. And for
Hmm.
certain people, they don't like to talk about themselves. And like, ironically, like for someone that loves to speak with people, I don't usually speak about myself as much, but I want to. I definitely want to get in that space to do that more, but I don't get the chance to. Now imagine someone like myself saying that. Now imagine someone that's just straight up like, no, I don't want to talk to no one. Like I don't want to speak. I'll promote my business, but it's like I don't want to put myself out there. I want to be like hidden behind the scenes. No one can see me like I'm an AI bot. But those are things you can't really shy away from. But it's like you said, the greatest investment is in yourself. So if you're not taking that time to put yourself out there for the brand, for the business, then that's kind of a huge like hiccup right there. Cause it's like, well,
Yeah.
sure, like you could have an amazing service and amazing product, but people really connect not only to the product and the service, but to you based on like the relationship. And I really value customer service. That's something I really care about based on like what I do. It's not just like, hey, we have the interview and then I just cut off Khalil, like, all right, get out of my face. We're done. Like, no, it's like after this, I'm gonna be checking up, like, hey man, like I hope everything was good. I hope you enjoyed the interview. I'll send you a copy of the interview afterwards. So if you want to share with people, like that's things I care about because
Mhm.
communication is the key to success. When you're communicating with people in all aspects of life, you're starting to see that growth not only for yourself, but for the people surrounding you as well, because you're feeding
Good.
off that positive energy. And, I feel like for any business owner, entrepreneur, the digital marketing aspect is that opportunity to communicate, to get yourself across with others. Like you mentioned, Khalil, you go into a conference, like networking, going out, don't just rely on digital marketing, but be your own marketer and go
Hmm.
out and talk to people, put yourself out there. That's what I did. Like when I started this whole show, I got all my guests because I just went out to events and I said, hey, I have a podcast. You want to come on? Like simple as that. And now it's built to the point where I don't even got to say my name. I walk in the room and people know exactly what I'm about.
What's up?
It's like, hey, what's it
Yeah.
going? So like that's how you want to build. So I love how you try to like push that all the time when it comes to the marketing tools that you put together. And again, guys, go get your 12 do it for you done for you bundle. $47, like Khalil mentioned. He's got a bunch of tools that you could use at your disposal. And like he mentioned, all you have to do is just start. He's given this so you can begin. You can be a beginner. It doesn't matter. You can get started today. So definitely take the time to do that. Quickly, Khalil, how are we on time?
Are we good? We good. Let's finish this up.
Okay, cool, 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 cool. So, I do want to go into like this closing activity. Now, listen, usually I would do a role play session, but I feel like there's been so much gems. It's like we're gonna skip it this week. I'm sorry, everyone. I understand you were looking forward to that, but it's like I think Khalil overcompensated for everything that he dropped today. So I think y'all could spare me, but I want to get into a closing activity. And like I mentioned before, based on the questions I gave, I kind of separated it based on each M. So obviously the challenge from God, that was more to ministry, the evaluation of the mindset for mindsets, the motivation. I kind of separated. So
You
again, I
did
told y'all,
that?
yeah,
I didn't even know you did that.
I told you
Wow.
I'm sneaky. I told you.
Very, very sneaky.
Yeah, bro. Listen, I try to do what I can do, man. But let's get into this closing activity. So, Khalil, just quick question: How are you with riddles?
Riddles. Ooh, I'm not the greatest, to be honest.
Okay. This should be interesting. I got 5 riddles for you. Okay.
Sean. Okay, let's do it. Let's do
Listen,
it.
it's getting the brain flowing. I mean, honestly, the brain's been flowing since like the minute we started recording. I ain't gonna lie. So it's clocking in. It's overtime at this point.
Okay, let's do it. Let's go. I'm ready.
Okay, perfect, perfect. And again, for those listening, you can definitely participate. Don't
Help,
drop your
help,
answer.
help me, help me.
You could, I'll be nice. You can give hints, ladies and gentlemen. Don't say the answers, but you can give hints.
Mm,
All right. Okay, here we go. I'll start off with an easy one.
Okay, cool.
I guess if you want to define this as easy, I define it easy, but it's easy, okay?
Yeah, it's subjective. Easy is subjective.
Yes. Okay, so first one. What is at the end of a rainbow?
Sean.
I promise you, don't think too hard, bro. Really, don't think too hard.
Mm. Yeah, I gotta think outside the box with this one.
I'll repeat it again. What is at the end of a rainbow?
Where's my people giving me hints? No one's giving me hints.
Come on,
I'm gonna
chat.
shout out answer. I'm gonna shout out answer. The light is at the end of the rainbow or something, or the rain, or the shine at the end of the rainbow. I don't know.
Honestly, like that's not a bad answer, but like that's not the correct one though. Listen, you know what it is? I can see your way of thinking, but these type of riddles are the ones where like the more you think on it, the more you're gonna stress your brain out. I promise
Yes,
you.
I'm usually the one who give riddles. I'm not the one.
Dang, chat, you guys don't want to help out Khalil? You're gonna leave a brother hanging? Okay, Chanel says think
No-
literal. She says think literal.
Nothing's at the end of the rainbow. Am I
Nothing?
close?
No, you're not close. I'll be on
Oh no.
100%. Like, okay, really taken to the words I'm saying, okay? What is at the end of a rainbow?
Hmm. Is it a boat? Rain? What's rain? I think I have a feeling it's a trick question. It's in the word. What's the end of a
I
rain?
will say it has to do with one of the words. Like, it's in the word.
See, I knew it.
That might be like a layup right there, Loki.
What's at the end of a rain? Nah, I'm lost. I'm lost.
I see
The
Jay
end?
says the
Is it the
end.
end?
I think he's giving you a hint. I see some people are giving answers. I see Gloria say the sky or the sun. It's not that. You know what? I think we should probably move on because this is only question 1 out of 5.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let's move on.
Okay, so the answer, you're gonna hate me, and everyone's gonna hate me. It's the letter W.
I was gonna say that. That's crazy.
You should have said it. You should have went with your gut, man.
I know. I was actually gonna say it, but I was just like, no, like, okay.
Okay. All right, let's try this next one, okay? Okay. If an electric train is traveling south, then which way is the smoke going? I promise. Again, this is another layup. Listen to the question. I'll say it again. If an electric train is traveling south, then which way is the smoke going?
The same way? No,
Khalil, I'm
the
trying to
opposite.
pull for you. I'm trying to pull for you right now.
I told you I'm terrible. I'm bad at riddles.
All right. The comment section, chat, help him out.
Come on,
Help him
chat.
out.
What's happening? Chat.
We need that
They're too
positivity.
slow.
All the comments you guys were giving throughout the conversation, do not go quiet now. Come on.
Where's my chat people?
I think they're trying to like process and get some answers
I need that
themselves.
chat GPT.
You know what's funny enough? I actually did a segment like this with someone and they blatantly cheated. Like they actually had ChatGPT. Like I asked the question that they were asking me like multiple times, hey, could you repeat the question? And they would literally type it in.
Nah. I know. I'm not cheated this time.
Yes. I respect the integrity. See, some people don't
Yeah.
have that. I won't say the name is. I have too much. I won't be disrespectful. I won't say who was cheating, but you know who you are if you're
You know
watching
who
this.
you are. God was watching you.
Yep. It is what it is.
I'm gonna shout out answer northwest, east, No, not any
Northwest.
of those
No.
directions.
You know what? We're gonna have to move on to the next one. Wait,
What's that?
Shino's asking what kind of vehicle is a Tesla? What? I said electric train. If you were listening,
Yeah,
Shino.
yeah. She went in a different direction.
Oh, that's the hint. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Oh, that. Oh,
That-
what was
okay,
the hint
so
again? What is the
what kind of vehicle is a Tesla?
electric?
Okay. So again, I'll repeat the question. If an electric train is traveling south, then which way is the smoke?
There's no there's no smoke because it's
There we
electric.
go.
Hey,
There we go.
Chanel. I rock with you. Come on. Let's go.
Okay, perfect, perfect. You know what? Honestly, I think I might just cut two questions, or we're just gonna leave one more because I don't want to be. I want you to end on a high note. I want to end on a strong note. Okay.
Let's get this one. 1 for 2. Let's end strong.
Okay. Okay. So this one's a little bit more trickier. Okay. You ask this question all day long, but always get completely different answers, and yet all the answers will be correct. What is the question?
I'm thinking too hard.
Honestly, this one, I will say this one's a little bit more of a tricky one. It is.
So repeat the question again.
Yeah. So you ask this question all day long, but always get completely different answers. And yet all the answers will be correct. What is the question?
All day long.
So basically, the answer is basically a question itself. I see
That's
some
the
people are
hint.
still, yeah, yeah. I see some people are still answering from the previous question. No smoke.
Yeah, people are scared. This chat, I don't know, it's weak.
How are you? That, you know what? That's not a bad one. That's not the correct one, but honestly, in a different scenario, I would take that. I would take that answer.
Hmm.
I will say this. I guess that's probably the hint that Jay
Hmm.
has given you. How are you? It is like a common question. So
Hmm.
think about it. If you're going through your day, you hear people say like, "How are you?" Right? Like, what would be like another question that people would usually ask? That it's like, okay, you get different answers, but technically, like, you're not wrong. All answers would be correct.
Um. How are you? What you doing? Um. How's your day today? What do people say? How are you feeling?
How you feeling? Again, would be a solid answer. It's not the one I'm looking for.
Where you going? What time it is?
Yeah, it's that. It's what time is it?
That. Oh.
Yes,
Okay.
it's what time. So here's the thing. I saw Jay put it. I didn't want to say anything. I said, let me keep my mouth shut. Like, let me not react. But yeah, it is what time it is. So what time is it?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Thanks,
Cause
Jay. I appreciate you.
there we go.
I hope Jay didn't use Chat GPT though,
I
or
hope
Google.
I hope you weren't cheating. I hope it was like honest, genuine. But hey, listen, 2 for 3. That's what we
Yeah, yeah,
like to
yeah.
see.
That's what's up. Woo! Let's go. Let's go.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, that's everything I have for today. Khalil, again, I really appreciate you coming on. Honestly, the amount of stuff you shared today was absolutely phenomenal. I think everyone here listening is grateful to have you on the Safe Room for the second time. You came back stronger than ever for this conversation. And I'm just glad to just have this conversation, man. Just keep doing the amazing things you're doing. I'm wishing you nothing but the best, man. I'm praying for everything that you're getting or what you're about to get I know God has so much more in store for you. So, man, I'm wishing you nothing but the best.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And same to you, man. Much love. I've seen the progress, I've seen the growth, I've seen the impact that you have made. I've seen just the transformation. Like, you are not the person who started this podcast, like the confidence, the way you speak and articulate yourself. Like, it's evolved you. And I'm so grateful to have someone like you that decide to go after their dreams, their goals, and their aspirations. Because not many people are going to do it. Like, I know a podcast is not easy. It's very difficult. It's challenging. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of editing. It takes a lot of connecting with other people to be a part of it. So the fact you decide to do it and stick with it for 5 years, 5 years, God has been with you. He's been helping you. He's been supporting you. And I can't wait to see where else he takes you. So thank you so much. God bless you and continue to change lives. You're a life changer.
Appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it. Where can people find you on social media? Where can people connect with you?
You can find me on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it. I am there at Khalil Dorival, at KHALIL DORIVAL. You can also visit my website, www.khalildorival.com.
Perfect. Perfect. Again, thank you so much, Khalil. Appreciate your time. Thank you to everyone listening to this. I think Chanel says it best. God-filled conversation, man. God was definitely the talking point, but we love that. Thank you for tuning in. You can find me at the Safe Room Official on Instagram and also the president of TO as well on Instagram. If you want to check out any of our previous conversations, head to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or type in the Safe Room Love Bay Radio. There should be a playlist there. You can check out all my previous conversations I've done so far on Love Bay. Again, thank you to everyone listening. And make sure you tune in next week to your favorite podcast here on Love Bay Radio. And funny enough, I saw someone comment in the comment section. A little spoiler, she's actually the guest next week. I don't know if she's still here, but be as you may. If you want to show your face and comment again, I can spoil it right now and let you know. But she made one comment, just one. I don't want to spoil it, but if she's still there, she will be the guest next week. And I promise you, it's going to be a banger of a conversation. But again, thank you to everyone tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.
Later. Deuces. Take care.